special board meeting to order at 7:31 p.m. at the Broadview Park District located at 2600 South 13th Avenue. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Ely.
Present.
Trustee Tierney.
Here.
Trustee Jones is absent. Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Trustee Horn.
Here.
Trustee Abraham.
Here.
Trustee Brown Marino is absent. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you.
Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? May we all have a moment of silence. Item 2, public comment.
Is it? Ms. Redmond?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Thompson, trustees, administrators, and residents. Good evening. Shirley Redmond at 2246 South 24th Avenue. As I did when I came in, but I also wanted to do it publicly, I wanted to congratulate John Tierney on winning a 4-year term. Thank you. And I also want to thank Trustee Ely for serving for 2 terms. It might have been more, but I've been involved in the last 2 that you've been serving. I appreciate you serving with honesty and integrity and getting to the heart of the matter. So thank you for your hard work. And I'm hoping Trustee Brown Moreno will come in. And if she doesn't, maybe she'll hear this on tape. For 15 years, she's been a community activist, and she's one of the reasons Shirley Redmond has got involved in this village. It was because her concern of the fire department years ago, us losing money, that got me interested and got me coming to the meetings and being involved. Not only as a 2-term trustee, she also does a lot of research that's helped this village move forward. You know, we disagree, but I'm the type of person, if you know me, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. You ain't got to know what Shirley Redmond said, because I feel like honesty is the best policy. And Judy and I have had that type of relationship over the years. But I do appreciate the body of work she has given to this village. And all of us who knows who's been here, whether we like her or not, she's done a terrific job. Also, I have 2 comments in terms of tonight for the director's reports. I appreciate the police and the fire bringing their reports, but I would like everybody to give a summary. I come because I want to know what's going on. I also think it's good PR for the people to tell us the little highlights. So I appreciate, Madam President, if you would consider it. And then I'd like to know, when is the next finance meeting? Is it May 1st? That's a Wednesday, or is it a week after that? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond.
Next item on the agenda is item 3, communications. Just wanted to let everyone know we are officially back in business at Village Hall. The administrative offices moved over the weekend, and as of this morning, we are back in business full-fledged. That goes for window stickers for your vehicles, water bill payments, and any other business that you previously did at the Village Hall and then temporarily at the fire department. We're now back at Village Hall. We also want to thank the fire department, Chief Kenny and her staff, for putting up with us for about 6 months. They really did a good job of accommodating us, and we hated to be in their way, but we all made it work, and we're glad to be back in our new digs now. Next item is item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. Minutes from the April 1st, 2019 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Tierney. Madam President.
Trustee Ely?
No comment.
Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Horn? None. Trustee Abraham?
None.
Roll call, please.
Roll call. Ely.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Trustee Jones is absent. Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino is absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, item 5, consideration to approve expenditures Grand total of all funds, $1,115,456.91.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Tierney and seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President?
Madam Chair of the Finance Committee, Trustee Abraham, will you please read the warrant list?
Yes, I will. For our individual vendors, starting out with Administration Consulting Specialists, LLC, $3,500. L. Warren Oil Company Incorporated, $15,645.53. AT&T, $5,026.87. B&F Construction Code Services, $3,585.18. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $161,241.08. Cargill Incorporated, $21,767.46. CDS Office Technologies, $10,961. Chicago Communications, LLC, $5,034.54. Delgado Law Group, LLC, $18,216.25. FGM Architects, $12,800. Geno's Heating and Plumbing Incorporated, $23,163. Groot Incorporated, $44,065.73. Illinois Counties Risk Management Trust, $3,882.40. Jax Incorporated, $4,712.64. JJ Effect Incorporated, $10,023.74. Montana and Welch LLC, $10,009.67. Occupational Health Centers of Illinois, PC, $2,737. Riley Construction, $717,730.65. T&T Towing and Recovering Incorporated, $4,150. Verizon Wireless, $3,113.92. Windstream, $5,068.16. The total expenditures over $2,500 is $1,086,434.82. Our total expenditures is $1,115,456.91. The percentage of total is 97%. We do have the funds that these checks were drawn against, and we have general fund was $297,860.95. Our garbage fund is $44,065.73. The Roosevelt Road TIF was $4,154.57. Capital Projects Fund, $740,633.14. Water and Sewage Fund is $28,742.52. That gives us a grand total of the $1,115,456.91. And we also have a manual check that was voided and reissued for a dollar amount for $2,064.24. That's the end of my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Ely. No comment. Trustee Tierney.
No comment.
Trustee Horn. Nothing. Trustee Abraham.
None.
Trustee Brown Marino. Nothing. Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am, Madam President. Please let the record reflect 7:37 p.m. Trustee Brown Marino arrived to the meeting. Roll call, Trustee Ely.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Trustee Jones is absent. Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino.
Yes.
And Madam President, the bills are paid, carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, item 6, village officer reports. Village officer reports are given at every meeting of the month. We'll start with the building department, Commissioner David Upshaw.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, and residents. There's two comments I'd like to make. 2126 South 17th Avenue, which was a village-owned property. That property was approved by the board for sale. That we have completed that sale, and that was to Habitat for Humanity. I will be meeting with them in the upcoming weeks to discuss the renovation of that property. The second comment is for Fire Chief Kenny Tracy and the fire department. On behalf of the mayor's office, the clerk's office, the finance department, the building department, the water department, the HR administrator, We want to thank you for being so gracious and kind and allowing us to share your space. And so I say thank you, and thank you. That concludes my comment.
Questions? No.
No question.
Person's asked questions related to the construction that's taking place on 17th and Roosevelt, the status of it.
17th and, I didn't,
I want to know the status of the construction that's supposed to be taking place. I believe it was related to Ms. Kim.
17th and Roosevelt, that is a public-private partnership, and right now they're about 80% complete. They just poured the concrete, so they're working on the driveway for the actual strip mall and the parking lot for the village as well.
Do we have a project timeline that we could share?
I don't have that with me, but I can share that
Thank you.
this week.
That's it, thanks.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Moreno?
Just that since the department heads are no longer actually giving reports, just kind of on file and summarizing, I didn't get a copy of your report or any of the other department reports. Normally, they've been emailed out to us.
That's true, and I'll take ownership on that. That is true. I've been out of town the last 10 days. I've been on vacation. And so it was on my hard drive, and then with the move, they had packed up my computer, so it was not accessible to get the reports to you all.
Okay, well, if I could just ask that the department heads or the mayor or clerk, whoever,
The clerk.
I know
could be
this is
able
my
to-
last meeting as a trustee, but
I'll be happy to disseminate the
so
reports
I have
to
a
all
complete
trustees.
set. Thank you.
Yeah, we could do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Crenshaw. Next is the Finance Department, Budget Officer Tom Hood.
Thank you. I just found out that I'm speaking tonight. Okay. What did I just do with this? I can tell you just from memory that last month was a great month for us as far as property tax collections. We got over $3 million in property tax coming in. And I just had a copy of Tim's report here. Okay. All right. So the total revenues for the month of March were $3.3 million, with a year-to-date total revenues of $14.3 million. Revenues are flat versus year-to-date budget, and this is being driven by other taxes which are favorable by $998,000. And lastly, charges for services are exceeding year-to-date budget by $262,000. We expect property taxes to taper off in April, but in June and July we expect to receive the final distributions. As of today, we were still short $443,000 in property taxes for the fiscal year, and I've only seen $20,000 in April so far. So they might carry over till the next month. Expenditures for the month of March were $2,100, bringing year-to-date expenditures to $14,043,230. Year-to-date expenditures are unfavorable by $375,372 versus year-to-date budget. The key drivers are the timing of the contribution payments to the fire pension fund and the purchase of equipment in public works that needs to be reclassed as a capital projects fund. And these are the things that Tim had asked me to look into. Two of the items, if you're looking at the report, are fire personnel and police personnel that are substantially over 184 and 75. That is directly related to property taxes being received for the pensions. And when we receive the property tax, it's a revenue in one part and expense in the other. So those are basically funded overages. And the other thing that he mentioned was the 211 in public works. If you guys recall, at the beginning of the year, we bought a machine. It should have went to the capital projects fund. It got posted to the wrong fund. It just needs to be reclassified. Overall, we expect the village to continue making financial strides as the departments continue to work to implement the mayor's mandate to be fiscally responsible and to work collaboratively as a whole. Revenues picked up, particularly property taxes in March, receiving 2.2 million in tax distributions. We have only 1 month left in the fiscal year, and revenues are trending slightly higher. They're currently exceeding budget, and we are going to exceed it by even more. I did notice when I looked at the property taxes that we have another $500,000 deposit in there that wasn't property taxes. So we're getting quite a bit of extra funds from the other revenue sources. So if you want to ask the unprepared guy any questions, go right ahead, I'll try.
No comment.
Trustee Tierney?
I have a question about the pension funds. With the actuarial reports that you get from them,
Right.
they're done separately.
Correct.
Do they match up with what we're collecting and what we should be collecting? So
What we collect, it's a three-step process. The actuarial reports give us the amount to put in the levy. So yes, we are levying for the full actuarial amount. But when you look at us at our village on a fiscal year, in our first half of the fiscal year, we're getting 55% of the prior years. And in the next part, we're going to get the prior calendar years minus that 55%. So the numbers don't line up exactly, but yes, they're all driven off that actuarial report.
that's all I have.
Trustee Johnson? Trustee Horn?
I want to make sure I understood you correctly. We haven't realized all the property taxes just yet?
No,
There's-
no,
So once we realize it, should we expect this deficit to become a surplus?
it's already a surplus.
So then why is it reflecting a negative number?
Because that's.
Are you talking about in the revenue section?
I'm sorry?
Are you talking in the revenue section? We had budgeted to get 4.2, well, it's actually 4.29. At the end of March, we're at 4.33, basically.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, could you repeat that?
So at the end of March, our budget for the whole year is $14,298,676. So I'm calling that 14.229. We've already received $14,329,836, which is greater by about 2%.
So by the time they do the reports, this is from March, we already in April, so he's looking at April numbers. So next month, he'll be reporting out April financials, because they only report once a month. This is from March. He giving you updated information.
I understand, so you're reporting to me based on numbers for April.
No, I'm reporting March 31st numbers and comparing them to the budget as a whole fiscal year.
What am I missing? I don't understand how 1 minute you're saying a surplus, but the document reflects a deficit. I'm not connecting the dots somewhere.
Are you looking at this?
I'm looking at it, yeah, it says
Yeah.
deficit,
Okay, so so you're looking at the
344,212.
very bottom line.
Right.
The top line is revenues. There's 31,160 in revenues exceeding what we thought we would get as of March 31st. On the bottom, the total fund expenditures are exceeding what we thought we'd spend. It's showing 14 million to 13.6, a deficit of 375.
Right.
What I was explaining is in Tim's notes here is that is made up of extra property tax payments property tax payments that have went to the pension, and there's also that machine that was bought at the beginning of the year has been classified in the general fund. It should be in the capital fund. So that will decrease that to 11. The amount that's going to the pension is going to stay the same, but we're going to have a whole another month of revenue on top of what we've currently got.
Okay. I don't want to hold up the meeting, I'll talk to you afterwards.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Barberino?
I just want to clarify with the property tax revenue, and I've got the report in front of me. We were projecting, according to the fiscal year 2019 budget, we were projecting property tax revenue of just over $6 million, $6,037,000.
5 million, you're looking at it overall, looking in the other funds also, looking at IMRF and debt service and everything else. So you'd look at taking that number from the levy. In the general fund, we were projecting 5,534,188. There are.
So you're saying that the other line, that doesn't make sense, because a lot of this other revenue wouldn't be in other funds.
This revenue doesn't even, the revenue that's going to those other funds, it would pull up to that 6 million. I'd have to see where you're getting that 6 million from. Is that from the levy?
No, if you, okay, you look at the same report, the property tax line, the first line,
Right?
but in there's the first two columns, then there's three within a box, then the one right after that, fiscal year 2019 budget. Because the figure, the 5,534,000, that I understand to be, in other words, what we budgeted, what we figured we would have by the end of March, the year to date. Right?
You know, I'm going to have to go back and look at this.
And
I'm not sure
let me
what
just
he
tell
put
you
in there.
what my concern is. From what I'm seeing here, even after getting your projected 443,000, we're still going to be about $500,000 short from what was projected, from what I'm seeing, if I'm reading it correctly.
Let me get back with Tim and take a look and see what's feeding that number.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
That's it, Trustee Brown?
That's it.
Okay, thank you,
Thanks.
Tom.
Please let the record reflect that at 7:45, Trustee Jones arrived to the meeting. Next item is the Fire Department, Chief Tracy Kinney.
Good evening. This is my report for March 2019. Emergency responses. During the past month, we responded to 284 emergency calls. They included a response to 2 house fires, one on 75th Avenue in Hillside and one on 8th Avenue in Maywood. We had 1 electrical fire at a business in Hillside. We had a natural gas leak at Loyola Hospital. And we had 1 hazmat box at LA Fitness in Broadview Village Square. Let me go into that briefly. Because of our excellent relationship between the department heads now, when that situation happened, rather than just cleaning up and reopening the business, the building department and I worked together, and we helped LA Fitness managers and staff create some new protocols as far as how they clean the building, how they store chemicals, how they educate their staff on storing chemicals and cleaning. So this relationship over the past 2 years has developed so well that when I was on scene during that call, I was able to call department heads and say, can you come on over and work with me on this? It's that great. Good things are happening. For Loyola, we had 51 calls this month. Hines, we had 42, and Madden, 5. We had 169 total monthly activities in the Fire Prevention Bureau, and 101 violations were cited. We billed $25,934 for Loyola Hospital, $27,400 for Hines VA, $1,900 for Catholic Charities, $3,000 for Madden Mental Health, for a total of $57,950 in March. Just a couple notes. So we're currently working with North Riverside to obtain some training funds so we can continue to host classes through IFSI. This reduces the cost to the village for training for firefighters. We're also working with Triton College. They're making advancements in a large training facility they want to build on campus. May 6th through 10th, we are hosting Division 20 class, Vehicle Machinery Operations. We have space for 2 members in this class free of charge because we are hosting it. Recently, we had our pancake breakfast for the Fire Explorers and raised $1,200 with an additional $500 from a generous anonymous donor. I'd also like to mention that we have Camp We Can Too again this summer for girls ages 9 to 16. This camp just shows girls that there are jobs that used to be usually a man's job that we can too. That will be June 28th at the Firehouse from 9 a.m. to 3. And we are taking enrollment now. It is free of charge. So you could just call the Firehouse and put your slot in. And that's all I have this evening.
Trustee Eden?
I have nothing but thanks, Tracy.
Yes, thank you.
Trustee Tierney?
I have nothing.
Trustee Jones?
Nothing.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Police Department, Chief Kevin Ugly.
Good evening.
Good evening.
March 2019 report. Police Department responded to 1,292 calls. 38 cases were assigned to the Detective Bureau. 18 were cleared with 4 arrests, with a 47% solvability. They also cleared 13 previously assigned cases with 3 arrests. So in total for the year, 97 have been assigned to the Detective Bureau. 66 were cleared, 17 arrests with a 68% solvability. We attended representing Broadview at the funeral of slain McHenry County officer, Deputy Keltner. He was the McHenry County officer who was killed serving a warrant at the Rockford Hotel. Some of the training was Armorer School, Illinois Drug Enforcement Officer training, and testifying in DUI trials. Other events was March 15th, members of the police department played the Lindop faculty in a basketball game. It was an all-school assembly. It was a great time, and it ended up in a 59-59 tie. So it was a good time, though. Currently, the clerk had mentioned how we're open. Village Hall is open. We have 1 station open in our new 911 center. The window is open, so if you come on by, you can see the setup in there. We have 4 positions up and put together, but 1 is actually active and running right now. Some upcoming events we have is active shooter training for the businesses. We did send out some cards. It's going to be here May 13th here at 6 p.m. That would be put on by Richmond Clayton, our detective. He'll put that on. We have our annual Cop on Top Friday, May 17th. That starts at 5 a.m. at Dunkin' Donuts. All the proceeds from that go to Special Olympics of Illinois. We also have the 2nd annual torch run, which is going to be Sunday, June 2nd, starting at noon. This torch run is another event for Special Olympics of Illinois. It's going to start at the Westchester Police Department, goes on Roosevelt Road to Des Plaines Avenue to Madison Street, and ends in Forest Park. It's a 4.5-mile run and one of our biggest fundraisers for that charity. What we're going to do with this consolidation, we're trying to alleviate some of the work on unnecessary work on the dispatcher. So we are automating our overnight parking. So as of May 1st, we'll be putting all the information out. It is now going to be web-based. So if a person calls in, it will be the phone tree. It will tell them what site to log on to, and they could do it automatically now instead of the dispatcher taking their time to fill in all the information. There's also will be a link on the website too. So you go on the village website, there'll be a link for overnight parking. There's still the restriction 4 times a month. It will reject them if you hit a certain amount, and it will show the dates that they already got approved. So we're trying to alleviate, once we get the consolidation going, some of the unnecessary work they need to do. And that's my report.
Thank you. Trustee Ely?
I have nothing, thanks.
Trustee Tierney?
Who's in charge of your torch walk?
Of the what?
Patrolman Santucci? Is he in charge of that?
Oh, what? I didn't hear.
Who's in charge of
Oh, the torch run. Oh, I'm sorry, Commander Casca.
Casa, okay.
Run, John.
Yeah.
And I run it too.
No, you're gonna be there to help me?
I'll be there to count.
It's a 4.5-mile jog.
How about that? That's not gonna happen.
Commander Casca, though.
Casa, okay.
Trustee Jones?
2 things. Triangle operations. What's the status of the former triangle operations? Are you guys still doing it? What's the activity?
Yep.
When are we going to be in Broadview? So on and so forth.
We are up and running now. We have Officer Davison now has been transferred to TAC. It's been about a month now he's been in there. So we went for a few months without anybody in the tactical unit because of manpower. He is back in there running, and they'll get that operation going again. Especially with the summertime, we'll be back out there.
Yeah, that was my point. Yeah. Second question is as it relates to the 911 center. I know you guys are just getting started, but what is the ultimate maximum capacity going to be over there? What are we going to be capable of having in the 911 center? As I recall, when we first started talking about doing the 911 center, we were going to make it large enough to expand it or to add on other municipalities. Right. So what would be the maximum capacity in your opinion based on what
my opinion, right. We have 4 stations right now, 4 councils right now. We could get up to 7 in there.
Which would handle how many communities?
I'm sorry?
How many communities are we talking about potentially? What do you think?
I would like to get all net 17 in there.
You got it. Okay, that's enough. Good.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
About the active shooter training, you said that's Monday, May 13th at 6 PM, and that's here in Schroeder Park?
Yes.
Now, I haven't got a card yet, but is
Okay.
this?
Just give, if you could contact Commander Casca,
Okay,
just RSVP, how many people, so we can kind of have a count. That's,
that was going to be my next question. Is this just for business owners and managers, or employees too, or?
well, it's for the businesses, and they could bring, we're asking them to bring maybe 1 or 2 employees. We don't want the whole, 20 employees from each business.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Chief. Next is Public Works Department, Director Matt Ames. I see that he is not present. Madam President, does anyone have a report for Public Works?
I don't. Do you, Trustee Horn?
No.
Okay, no.
Okay, there'll be no report for Public Works. That brings us to Administrative Department, Village Administrator Letisa Jones.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, and residents.
Good evening.
Just want to bring attention to the trustees and also to Mayor, the NB Bank is changing. As of May 6th, they're changing over to Fifth Third. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Ely.
Nothing, thanks.
Trustee Tierney?
I have nothing.
Trustee Jones?
I have nothing.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Next item on, item 7, old business. This is from a couple of meetings ago. Item A, a consideration of an application for a business license requested by Kevin McIntyre of Headquarters Community Barbershop, Inc., doing business as Headquarters, Inc., located at 2135A South 22nd Avenue for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Madam President, point of order, can we get a report from the Building Department, Mr. Upshaw, as it relates to the business itself and what the village ordinance is related to barbershops in the corridor?
The barbershop will be located, or currently is located at 2135A South 22nd Avenue in Broadview. The ordinance relates to barbershops. There shall not be a like-type business within 1,000 feet of another business. This business is located at 2139 through 2141, I believe, on 22nd. I'm sorry, 2135A South on 22nd.
My apologies, but I didn't understand, it was a bit garbled. I didn't understand the thing you were saying.
Okay. Headquarters Community Barbershop is located at 2135 South 22nd Avenue. Per our village code, there should not be a like-type business within 1,000 feet of another business. The business is located at 2135. There is no business in the 2000 block or the 19th 100 block. The next hair salon is in the middle of the block of the 1900 block by the Mr. Snappy Cleaners. So you got U-Haul, which takes up a whole block, and then this particular business is it's actually on 22nd, so it's around the corner. So it's 2.5 blocks away from the nearest hair salon.
So can we get a motion to approve?
Oh, there's a comment first.
You got to make a motion and have a comment, trustee. Motion to approve.
Second.
Trustee Ely?
Now you make it.
All right, now, that was my question the last time this was on the agenda. But you've checked the ordinance, you checked the distance, so thank you.
That is correct.
Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Jones?
Dave answered the question already.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing, thank you.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Nothing.
Madam President, it's a bit hard to hear tonight. I did not hear a motion to approve.
Trustee
And I did hear a
Jones,
motion to
motion.
approve.
Horn, second.
Okay, for the record, Trustee Jones, motion to approve. Trustee Horn, second that motion. And now we'll have a roll call, Madam President.
Yes, please.
Trustee Ely?
Yes.
Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Yes.
And this carries 6-0. Thank you. Next item is item 8, new business. Item A, a motion to authorize the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners to proceed with hiring a police officer to fill the vacancy left by retirement of Jennifer Markowski.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Tierney and seconded by Trustee Abraham to approve. Madam President?
Trustee Ely?
Well, I guess it's pretty straightforward. Markowski retired, we need to replace her. That concludes my comments.
Thank you. Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Jones?
Madam President, and fellow trustees, I was looking at the new business, items A through E. They all seem to be very simplistic and basically a formality. I would request to do a superseding motion to combine items A, B, C, D, and E into a consent agenda for one vote for all the items listed between A through E. Because it's the hiring of personnel, the approval of a request for a fundraiser and a handicap parking sign and a block party. It's some real simple stuff to save a whole lot of time. I just think we should be able to do all 5 of those.
Okay, so if I heard correctly, Trustee Jones wants to make a superseding motion to do a consent agenda to include items, what, Trustee Jones?
A through E.
A through D as in David?
E as an elephant.
E,
Oh,
yeah, E is-
Superseding motion would be a consent agenda to include items A through E. It was seconded by Trustee Ely. For the record, I'll read them in and then we'll take a roll call vote at the end. So A,
Oh, he gonna read
we've
it.
already read. B, a motion to authorize the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners to proceed with hiring a firefighter to fill the vacancy left by the resignation of Caesar Palafox for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois Fire Department. Item C, a motion to approve a request from the Proviso Township Dream Team, NFP, to hold their annual Proviso 3K fundraiser at Schroeder Park on May 11, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Item D, a motion to approve the placement of a handicap parking sign in front of 2009 South 22nd Avenue. And finally, item E, a motion to approve a block club party permit request for the 2800 block of 19th Avenue on June 22nd, 2019, from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Roll call. Trustee Ely.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Bramarino.
Yes.
And Madam President, this passes unanimously 6-0.
Thank you.
Next item, item F, an ordinance authorizing and approving the disposal of,
Mr. Clerk,
I'm sorry,
if we approve the consent agenda, we now need to vote.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
We approve the consent agenda. Next, we need a motion to approve all the items or not approve them. You need a second vote.
Second.
Yep.
Motion to approve,
Motion by Jones and seconded by Tierney.
to approve the consent agenda.
I do apologize. Okay, so it's been properly motioned by Trustee Jones and properly seconded by Trustee Tierney to approve all 5 items. The roll call stands, or should we take it again? We'll take it again for the record. Trustee Ely.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Bramarino.
Yes.
And again, this passes 6-0. Thank you. Now, item F, an ordinance authorizing and approving the disposal of personal property for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Is that motion by Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Second by Trustee
Tierney.
Tierney. Madam President?
Trustee Ely?
Well, I just had one comment or question. I read the ordinance, and it's a resolution. There was some relatively new vehicles on there, and I just wanted, Trustee Horn normally deals with Public Works. I would imagine you've spoken with the Public Works Director, and these vehicles, one of which I believe was a 2013 truck, but they're out of shape, unusable, all of that. I just questioned the fact that they were relatively new. But if you've researched it and you give the okay, then I'm okay with it.
I did. I
Okay.
talked with them.
Then I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trustee Tierney?
Nothing.
Trustee Jones?
The only thing I have is maybe Trustee Horn can expound on exactly what's contained in this particular ordinance for the public, what's going on with these particular vehicles, and, you know, why we're getting rid of them, that's all.
We replaced it. We replaced them. Well, is there any additional
No, that was
detail?
just my comment, that's
Oh,
all.
okay.
Residents, we replaced the vehicles, so that's why we are now getting rid of these.
That's it, Trustee Jones?
Oh, I was done, yeah.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
Nothing.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Nothing.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Ely? Yes. Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Yes.
And it's carried 6-0. Thank you. Item G, a resolution awarding the contract for the CDBG 2018 PY Alley Improvements Project to Dinatelli Construction, Inc. after competitive bidding for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Jones, seconded by Trustee Horn. Madam President?
Trustee Ely?
Well, I wanted to give these Hancock Engineering people a chance to explain what this CDBG project is, and to assure us this was the lowest possible. Oh, there he is, the Goomas guy.
Good to be back here. Thank you. This was for the village received a $300,000 grant from CDBG for improvements of 3 alleys from the area between 21st and 25th Avenue, north of Roosevelt Road. One of the alleys is between 24th and 25th, just north of Roosevelt Road. The other two, I don't know exactly. I'm quoting here because I'm filling it, but I believe it's between 21st and 22nd, north of Fillmore, and then the other one is between 23rd and 24th. They received bids. The low bid was 15% below our engineer's estimate. The lowest responsible bidder, Dinatelli Construction, has done alleys in various communities. We checked references in the City of Des Plaines and Village of Oak Park. They did fine work there. They are anxious to get going. Actually, if contracts get approved tonight, they could be starting as early as next week.
Is it? Trustee Tierney?
I know at one point these alleys are going to be shut down completely.
Correct.
Have arrangements been made for garbage pickup for the residents there?
Yes, there was a pre-construction meeting held last week, and once we get approval, then we'll notify the garbage and also the police department to know about the parking restrictions. So, and we're staging, 2 of the alleys are next to each other, so we've staged them so they're doing the 2 outside ones first so that we don't overload one street, and then they'll do the 3rd alley after they finish the first 2.
Trustee Jones?
Yeah, he already got to the parking issue. What did you say the final amount was that we were being awarded?
Our grant is $300,000.
$300,000, which is an increase from what we normally used to get by
Correct.
how much?
Yes. Used to get around $200,000,
Yeah.
but they're also now giving them out every year, so they're kind of alternating years, so
Okay.
playing different, there's different things going on.
Yeah, when you said 300,000, I was like, okay, so we got some extra money. That's great.
it was
And
good
welcome
money.
back, by the way.
We'll take it all.
That's it. That completes my comment, Madam President.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing, thank you.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Nothing.
Can we get a roll call,
I
please?
got one other thing, may I, Madam President? Are we doing permeable services?
Yes, there will be the brick pavers.
I
The
forgot.
green infrastructure will be in the middle, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, just for the record, I'll read the scope of improvement. Location 1 is the north-south alley located between 25th Avenue and 24th Avenue from Roosevelt Road to Fillmore. Location 2 is the alley located between 25th and 24th Avenue from Fillmore to Harvard. And third is the alley located between 23rd and 22nd Avenue from Fillmore Street to Harvard Street, just for the record. And we'll take a roll call. Trustee Ely.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino.
Yes.
And this carries 6-0. Okay, item H. Thank you. Oh, this is something else here. Item H, resolution authorizing and approving a certain agreement between the Illinois Department of Transportation and the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Trustee Ely?
Well, I just Was
Need a
hoping
motion.
someone would explain it to me.
We need a
Yeah.
motion
we need a
first.
motion. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The motion by Tierney and seconded by Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, this is for the Braga Drive, 16th Street improvement. It's actually Braga Drive all the way from 25th to 17th, but the construction has been divided into 2 different years due to the funding constraints because of the size of the project. So this is an agreement with Illinois Department of Transportation for the project. The bids are being taken by the state. They will be opened on Friday. This is a joint agreement that establishes the funding split between the village and the Broadview and the state. The village received 80% funding for construction and construction engineering on this project. So the state will let the contract. The village will administer the engineering on the contract, and the state will pay the contractor and then invoice the villages. So the village doesn't have to front the money and wait for the state, at least not on construction, which is the major cost portion of the project. The roadway is going to be completely reconstructed, new curb and gutter, sidewalk, roadway lighting, concrete pavement, storm sewer improvements, replacing the water main on 16th Street as well. So it'll be a very robust and reconstruction. We're going to be also adding a bike lane along there to eventually will extend to get to the mall from 25th Avenue and to allow anybody who wants to go to the businesses or to the mall, a bicycle route on the pavement. And in the future, that will hopefully connect with the study we're doing now for a bike path on 25th Avenue to try to make a nice network there.
Well done. Good. Yeah.
Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Jones?
I have nothing.
Trustee Horn?
That's excellent, thank you.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Just that I also appreciate your memo explaining each of the different legislative matters. So thank you.
Okay, roll call, Madam President?
Yes.
Trustee Ely?
Yes.
Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Yes.
And this carries 6-0. Thank you. Item I, a resolution authorizing and approving an agreement with Edwin Hancock Engineering Company for the furnishing of construction engineering services related to the Braga Drive improvements for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Horn, seconded by Trustee Jones. Madam President?
Trustee Ely?
No comments unless Mr. Gomez would like to say a few words.
This is for the construction engineering portion of it. The contract is between the village and our firm. The village will pay us and then seek 80% reimbursement from Illinois Department of Transportation. Their turnaround time, just so you know, is typically about 45 days from once a request for funds is submitted.
Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Jones?
That's it. No.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Nothing?
Roll call. Trustee Ely?
Yes.
Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Yes.
And Madam President, this carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Okay, item J, a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Tierney and seconded by Trustee Horn. Madam President?
Trustee Ely, it's
I'll
the
wait,
same
no,
thing
no.
that he just.
The village is going to be using motor fuel tax money to pay for their portion of the project, and this is just a resolution authorizing that.
Okay, thanks.
Trustee Tierney? Trustee Jones?
Nothing.
Trustee Horn?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Nothing?
Thank you.
Okay, roll call. Trustee Ely? Yes. Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino?
Yes.
And this carries 6-0. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to reconsider old business item A.
Second.
Okay, it's been a motion to reconsider old business item A by Trustee Brown Marino and seconded by Trustee Horn. Is this item A new business?
Old business.
Old business.
Trustee Brown Marino?
The reason I asked to reconsider this is I pulled up the village's, excuse me, zoning map, And as I'm looking at this, my concern when this was on the agenda at first, along with Trustee Ely, is the 1,000-foot requirement that there be at least 1,000 feet between barbershops and beauty parlors and what have you, so there isn't a concentration. Now, I'm looking at this, and the lots in that area, I'm talking about the lots facing onto 22nd Avenue, 21st Avenue, et cetera, are about 125 feet deep, correct? Right. That's pretty much the standard lot size, and we're in pretty much a grid. So given that this is on 22nd Avenue, and we've got 125 feet for the lot size up to the alley, another 125 feet, we've got two of those, that's 500. If you add even 20 feet for the alley, 25 feet, and then a couple hundred feet to get to the beauty parlor, we're nowhere near 1,000 feet. By my calculations, it's more like about 600 to 700 feet from this to the other. Now, it's not that I have an objection to the idea of a barber shop there. My concern is just that we follow our zoning code so that when there's other businesses that we're holding to a zoning code, they can't come back and say we're picking and choosing. So my concern is I believe that this business should have a variance because I don't know how you came up with the idea that it's 1,000 feet. And with all due respect, Commissioner Upshaw, you had said it's over 2 blocks away, but we're
Two
not
and a
talking
half.
we're not talking about the full-length city blocks. We're
Yes, I
talking
am.
Pardon me?
Yes, I am.
You're still saying it's at least 1,000 feet.
U-Haul is 1 block by itself.
But when you're talking about a block, we're not talking about a city block that goes from Roosevelt to Harvard, or from Roosevelt to Fillmore, for example. That's a much longer block. That block is close to 1,000 feet. But when we're talking about a block being from 21st Avenue to 20th Avenue, that can't be more than 270, 280, and there's only 2 of those. And I'd be happy to show you what I'm talking about on the zoning map. I just don't, personally, I'm not comfortable with the idea that it meets the 1,000-foot requirement. And therefore, if nothing else, I need to change my vote because I don't believe it meets the zoning code. So that's my reason for asking to reconsider and the reason that I request a new vote so that I can change my vote.
So would you like to table it to the next board meeting where the Commissioner Upshaw, you can go and do due diligence to see the exact,
Whatever you like, Mayor,
Can
Board.
other trustees make some comments?
Yeah, we have a motion
we'd like to-
and a second on the board. It's open to debate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trustee Ely, did you want to say something?
I questioned this at the last time it was on the agenda and again tonight. And the building commissioner assured me that he had researched our code ordinances as well as the distance between barbershops, beauty shops, et cetera, and that he was satisfied with the results. That concludes my comments.
Okay, Trustee Tierney? Trustee Jones?
what's currently at that location, Dave? At the location where this barbershop is gonna be, what's currently there?
Well, that used to be where the intellectual radio is, and State Farm is actually on Roosevelt Road.
Well, yeah,
And then you have State Farm, and then you have where the insurance agency used to be, and then you have 2 or 3 apartment buildings, and that's that whole block. And then the next block is the U-Haul.
well, the point that I'm trying to get to is where's the next barbershop or hair salon at, and what's the address? Do you have the address of the next location?
I do not, but the next hair salon is next to Mr. Snappy.
A block, no, Mr. Snappy was just the old cleaners, which was up near the corner, a block away. So you're literally talking about,
2.5 blocks.
well, 2 blocks plus a half, plus the distance from
Around the
the
corner.
location going around the corner. So you got some additional footage there. Unless you take a measuring thing out there and go and physically measure it, you're not going to be able to say whether it's.
Because it's not based off
ex-
buildings.
But in my opinion, based on what my knowledge of that location, I think it's probably going to qualify, Trustee Ely. If anything, it might be close, but it's 2 blocks away.
At least 2 blocks.
Yeah, it's 2 blocks and some change away.
Right.
Especially if you add the distance to the street and the blocks. So you got a street in between them and the blocks, and plus the distance from intellectual radios. There's actually, next door
On
to
the
intellectual
alley.
radios, there's buildings, there's State Farm up by the corner, and then there's Eye Doctor or something over there, right?
They used to be there.
Used to be an eye doctor there, you know, next to it. So there's 2 more businesses before you even get to Roosevelt Road, before you start adding the other footage. So, yeah, I just think that it's probably okay. The reason that I asked for it last time when trustee asked about it was simply for the same reason, because I wasn't quite sure about the distance, but I went out there and I actually looked. So, and the only reason that I made the comment, I want everybody to know exactly where he's talking about. So it's actually from the distance from this particular location, there's a small little parking area back there going to the alley. So there's a distance from the alley that runs parallel to Roosevelt. Then there's this building where intellectual radio used to be, where the barbershop is going to be. Then there's a location where the doctor, the eye doctor is, and then there's State Farm. Wasn't there another organization over there one time?
Well, there was an insurance agency
I
in
know it was an
front, and
insurance
the doctor's
agency.
office, the dentist, the doctor's office was in the back.
The doctor's office is in the back, right? Okay. And there's apartment building upstairs, apartments
And then there's
upstairs.
apartment buildings after that.
Well, upstairs over them, there's apartments.
Right.
Right. Okay. I'm good. I think that Trustee Brown Marino might be looking at it one way, but I think that, you know, without actually physically going and measuring it, I think we're probably good, Trustee Ely. Yeah. That's it for me, Madam President.
Mr. Clerk?
Would like a roll call?
Yes.
Okay, this is a roll call to approve, reconsider.
You had a motion to approve or disapprove. You had a motion to reconsider. We voted to reconsider. There needs to be a motion to either approve or disapprove. On the substantive matter in front of us, right. So I'll once again, I'll motion to approve it.
Second.
It's been motioned to be approved by Jones and seconded by Tierney. Trustee Ely.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Brown Marino.
No.
I'll keep Kevin on it.
And this carries 5-1. Okay, next item is item 9, applications for the authority to expend funds. We have none. Item 10, village clerk. My report is simple. I hope everyone had a happy Easter yesterday and that your family is safe and healthy. That concludes my report. Madam President, your report, item 11.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the trustees that served the Village of Broadview, Trustee Ely and Trustee Brown Marino. We appreciate your years of service to the Village of Broadview. And congratulations to the newly elected trustees, Trustee Tierney for continuing to be on the team, and then Trustee-elect Judy Miller and Trustee-elect Andrea Senior. We look forward to working with you all and serving and continuously moving our village forward and keeping it honest and transparent. This Saturday, April 27th, I will host a tea party with the mayor here at Schroeder Park, so it's for ages 3 to 8. You have to RSVP. If you have not, we have limited space. On May 4th, the Answer Inc. will have their annual walkathon. It's the Autism and Special Needs Walk. I'm actually a co-chair this year. And those that know me know that Deborah Vines is a really good friend of mine. She's my best friend, but I do advocate and support those that have the developmental disability. So I encourage all of our residents to come out and walk and support the good works that she does in the community and the whole Proviso Township. I would like to say the registration is going to be at Proviso West. Registration is at 11. The walk actually starts at noon at Proviso West High School. As we do a transition of the board, I still want to remain positive and focus on the purpose of us serving as elected officials. And that means us all working together, whether we agree or disagree, and everybody playing their role as an elected official by showing up to the board meetings and participating and having good dialogue and getting the information that you need to do the best to your ability to serve this village. So I'm looking forward to working with the new trustees as well as the ones that are legislate currently. But we have to remain focused and keep it about the people's business. And the people's business is making sure that we do due diligence in supporting our department heads and the initiatives that they bring forth. And that's, I think, the team that we have in place. We work really well together where we let the department heads run their departments. They do the day-to-day operations, but I'm there to support the initiatives that they bring forth to us. And sometimes when you on a board of trustees, sometimes you may not see eye to eye with the department heads on initiatives that they bring to the mayor's office, but I encourage all of the trustees to have a relationship with the department heads who they co-chair committees with. That builds solid and a good foundation for the village of Broadview. We did have the park district, the school board, and the library. And I've always been about serving this community in all aspects. It's not just the village, the municipal. The same way that you all hold us accountable, you all should be holding the park district accountable, you should be holding the library board accountable, and you should be holding the school boards accountable, whether it's District 209, 92, 94, 89. Your property taxes go to the schools, and you pay the most taxes to the schools. But nobody holds them accountable to how they expend funds. So I'm just encouraging you all to get engaged with all of the taxing bodies, because it's not just the municipal that have to hold responsibility. We get blamed for everything, but nobody look at the bigger picture of the other taxing bodies that's involved with your tax dollars. So I'm encouraging you that you pay attention to how they function and how they operate at a board level like you do us. Put them under a microscope like we're put under a microscope, and I think that eliminates being a hypocrite and being truthful to the cause on the initiatives that you bring. You know, instead of doing that, just be upfront and honest, but hold everybody accountable. I think that's should be always key. And when you post anything in Broadview, whether you at a Broadview function at the park district, the school board, the library, whatever community initiatives that we have, and you post on social media, I'm asking you all to hashtag Broadview Strong. Because when we all engage in the village of Broadview, it only makes us stronger as a community. We may not always agree, but we all can be strong in our disagreements and how we function at large. So just, you know, do that. I want to say for the last 5 or 6 months we've been at the firehouse, and I have a great deal of respect for the work that the fire department does, and I have to commend the chief. I mean, she runs an amazing department, and they all work together. So I just want to say thank you for your hospitality. We are truly grateful to have shared some space, but I think it taught us something about the fire department as well, how they go out on calls, and the calls that come in, we hear the calls. So I'm grateful for that opportunity, because I've learned a lot on paramedics, the fire department. I don't do the job, but I actually learned a lot from those guys and how they work together as a team. And when you see the fire, they spend a lot of time together. And so they know what it's like to work as a team. They know what it's like to work as a family. And I think since my tenure here, the department heads, they work as a family. They talk to each other when it comes to different things. It would just blow you guys' mind if you kind of saw the relationship that each department have. And they all complement each other, whether it's the finance or the building and public works or fire and police or administration. They all complement one another. And those are the things that you guys don't see. What you get to see is they stand up here and tell a report, but it's so much in depth on what they do every single day. So I'm really grateful for all of the department heads, because they work extremely hard to bring good services to Broadview. So the fire department, we gonna miss you, but we not gonna miss you.
And I just want to say, I think in the beginning when we decided to do it that way, I think we're all like, this is not going to work. We're going to be on top of each other. It's going to be chaotic. I think we all have a newfound respect for everybody's role. I think for the firefighters to see you on a daily basis present, I think for Letitia'd always be there. She's the first one to get there and the last one to leave. And these guys see how hard everyone works for them, for their jobs. And I think that was really important. And it's been eerily quiet now. So, I mean, even with the tones, I'm sure you don't miss those. But seriously, it's different now. But I highly suggest someone to do a village to do what we do. It gives you respect for each other. So thank you. It did a lot, benefited us a lot too.
To just exhibit how a team works. When we started the 911 renovation and thinking, okay, well, we're going to move parts of the building while they do it, and it just made sense for us to move completely out the building. And I don't know if you all have had an opportunity to come to we're going to do a ribbon cut where you guys will do the tour. We're not doing where you can walk through the whole entire administrative offices as of yet, because construction is still taking place in the chamber, it's taking place in the chamber. And we still got construction workers still on the administrative side. But if you come into the building, it just gives you a whole new, it's a feel-good place. It's really a feel-good type of place. And talking to some of the residents today that came, I mean, it was a packed house today, and I think everybody was just so excited that the building was officially open. And talking to some of the residents, they are very, very pleased. And I'm sure those that's in the audience tonight, when you come by and see the facility, you will be pleased as well. So Paul Kirshner, I mean, he is just a stellar type of diligent employee to get things done. He's no nonsense. He stick to the course, and whatever he tell us to do, we just do. Because we don't know what's going to happen, but he do. I mean, everything is like just the fine touches that need to be done. Everything is almost to perfection when we moved in, and we moved in over the weekend. And so just getting our technology back up and trying to, get back full speed. But we are back in the building. We encourage you all to come. If you don't do nothing but just come in the lobby and look, it's not finished. But we will be opening up the building, and hopefully we will be able to have our next meeting at Village Hall. But right now we're not sure, depending on, because now they're inside the chamber. So they're trying to get that ready for us so that we can have the first meeting in May. So with that being said, I just want to tell the community, thank you. You can. I just want to tell the community thank you for allowing me to serve at this level and allowing us to put out a good product for you guys. But there's a lot more that's in the hopper that you guys will be very, very pleased with. Jim?
I just wanted to let you know that they're going to be paving Roosevelt Road at night this week, putting down the first lift of asphalt, so just be prepared for some traffic. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. So with that being said, thank you and God bless you. Just kind of pay attention to where the meetings will be held at, because we don't know at this moment if it's going to be here or at the Village Hall just yet. But we'll make sure that you guys are notified.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Trustee Jones, seconded by Trustee Ely. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are hereby adjourned at 8:38 p.m. Thank you.